Tonight, let everything slow down. The room around you grows quieter. Sounds soften. Thoughts begin to drift. And in this gentle stillness, there is something within you that refuses to rest. Not because it is restless, but because it is loyal. Because it was designed to stay awake so that you don't have to. Deep inside your chest, your heart continues. You don't need to tell it to move. You don't need to remind it of its job. It doesn't wait for instructions. It simply beats, steady, patient, and constant, even now. Even as your body relaxes, even as your mind begins to wander. Few people truly sit with this idea, that there is an organ inside them that has been working every second of their life, without pause, without complaint, without ever asking for attention. From the first quiet moment of existence to this very breath, your heart has never taken a break. And tonight, we're not here to rush through information. We're here to listen to its story. Welcome to AR Calm Science, a place where your mind slows down and curiosity feels peaceful. Long before you ever knew what fear was, before excitement, before memories, your heart already knew how to keep time. In a place where there was no sound and no light, it began its rhythm. Not because it understood life, but because life needed motion. At first, it was small, fragile, yet determined. As your body formed, your heart quietly learned how to adapt. It adjusted its pace without being told. It learned when to move faster and when to soften its rhythm. It learned how to support growth, how to feed every new cell with warmth and energy. And it never stopped learning. As you grew older, your heart grew wiser. It began responding not only to movement, but to emotion. A sudden surprise could make it race. Calm moments could slow it down. Without words, it learned to translate feelings into rhythm. This is because your heart is not isolated. It is deeply connected to your nervous system, constantly exchanging signals with your brain. When something feels wrong, your heart often reacts before your thoughts catch up. A tightening in the chest, a sudden shift in pace, a quiet warning. Few people realize that the heart sends powerful messages upward, shaping how the brain responds to the world. This connection is ancient. Long before complex thought evolved, rhythm existed. Movement came before logic, and the heart became the body's most reliable storyteller, speaking through sensation rather than language. Over time, your heart became familiar with your life. It recognized patterns. It noticed stress. It remembered calm. It learned which moments required strength and which moments allowed softness. Every experience shaped how it responded next time. And yet, it never judged. When life became heavy, your heart carried the weight. When nights grew long, it stayed awake with you. When joy arrived unexpectedly, it rose to meet it. Even during moments you'd rather forget, your heart stayed present, doing exactly what it had always done. Because that is its nature. Even during sleep, when your consciousness drifts elsewhere, your heart remains alert. It adjusts to the rhythm of your breathing. It responds to dreams as if they were real. A sudden nightmare can make it pound, even though nothing has changed in the room around you. This happens because your heart doesn't distinguish between imagined danger and real threat. It listens closely to the signals it receives, and it responds instantly, just in case. This instinct has kept humans alive for thousands of years. But in the modern world, this same sensitivity can become overwhelming. Constant stimulation, endless worries, and long periods of stress keep the heart working harder than it was ever meant to. And still, it continues. Your heart does not know weekends. It does not recognize holidays. It does not slow down simply because life feels exhausting. It keeps its rhythm through fatigue, through tension, through moments when the body feels forgotten. And because of this constant effort, your heart has learned remarkable skills. It can redirect blood flow when needed. It can adjust pressure without conscious control. It can even change its structure slightly over time to better handle repeated demands. All of this happens silently, without you ever noticing. Few people realize how deeply the heart is connected to time itself. Throughout the day, your heart subtly follows an internal rhythm. Morning brings a gentle rise, preparing your body to wake. Evening invites a gradual slowing, encouraging rest. This natural pattern helps regulate energy, focus, and emotional balance. When this rhythm is disturbed too often, the heart struggles to return to its calm baseline. Sleep becomes shallow. Stress lingers longer. The body forgets how to fully relax. This is why moments of stillness matter so much. When you breathe slowly, your heart listens. When you sit quietly, it responds. Calm breathing sends a signal downward, telling the heart that it is safe to soften its pace. In return, the heart sends calming messages back to the brain, creating a loop of peace. This gentle conversation happens whether you are aware of it or not. And here is something even more fascinating. Your heart contains its own small network of specialized cells that behave similarly to neurons. This allows it to sense, respond, and adapt independently. It doesn't rely entirely on the brain to function. It carries its own intelligence. This is why a heart can continue beating even when separated from the body. It already knows its purpose. In a way, your heart remembers how to live. As years pass, your heart becomes a quiet archive of your experiences. Emotional moments leave subtle traces. Long periods of stress shape its responses. Deep relaxation strengthens its resilience. And still, it continues to serve. It beats through laughter and grief alike, through moments of certainty and moments of doubt. It stays steady during routines and adapts during chaos. Even now, as your body settles and your breathing slows, your heart remains attentive. It adjusts gently, finding a pace that matches this calmer moment. You don't need to control it. You don't need to analyze it. Tonight, simply let it work. Let it remind you that there is something within you that knows how to continue, even when you are tired. Something that has been carrying you quietly for your entire life. And this is only the beginning of its story. Because the heart is not just something that keeps you alive. It is something that quietly shapes how you experience being alive. As life moves forward, the heart learns patterns that you may never consciously notice. It begins to recognize certain moments even before they fully arrive. A familiar tension, a subtle excitement, a quiet sense of unease. Often, your heart responds first, adjusting its rhythm long before your mind finds words to explain why. This is why emotions can feel so physical. A heavy feeling in the chest during sadness, a warm expansion during love, a tightening during fear. These sensations are not imagined. They are the heart translating emotion into movement, speaking a language older than thought itself. Few people realize how deeply memory and the heart are connected. Not memory as pictures or words, but memory as feeling. The heart remembers stress. It remembers safety. It remembers what it felt like to rush and what it felt like to slow down. Over time, these memories influence how it reacts to the present moment. This is why calm environments feel comforting almost instantly, and why stressful situations can make the heart race even before anything actually happens. Your heart is always preparing. It prepares you to run, to rest, to react, to recover. It does this without asking whether the threat is real or imagined. Its priority has always been survival, not accuracy. And because of this, it sometimes works harder than it needs to. In the modern world, danger rarely comes in the form of sudden physical threats. Instead, it arrives as deadlines, notifications, expectations, and endless thinking. To the heart, these feel just as real. And so it responds, again and again, without pause. Yet even under constant pressure, the heart tries to protect itself. It strengthens its muscle fibers when demands increase. It adjusts how forcefully it pumps. It learns how to deliver oxygen more efficiently. All of this happens quietly, without sensation, without awareness. Your heart is constantly remodeling itself around your lifestyle. This is why gentle habits matter more than dramatic changes. Small moments of calm, regular sleep, slow movement. These give the heart a chance to return to its natural rhythm, the rhythm it prefers when it is not being pushed. And when it finds that rhythm, something interesting happens. The brain begins to relax too. Heart rhythm and mental clarity are closely linked. When the heart beats in a smooth, balanced pattern, the brain receives signals that encourage focus, emotional stability, and calm awareness. When the rhythm becomes irregular, the mind often feels scattered, anxious, or tired. This connection is subtle, but powerful. It explains why deep breathing can soothe anxiety, why meditation feels grounding, why moments of stillness can suddenly bring clarity. These practices do not force the mind to calm down. They gently guide the heart into a slower rhythm, and the mind follows. Few people realize how much the heart enjoys predictability. Regular sleep times, consistent routines, familiar environments. These patterns allow the heart to conserve energy instead of constantly adjusting to uncertainty. When life becomes chaotic, the heart works harder, even if the body appears still. And yet, even when pushed beyond comfort, it continues. Your heart beats during moments of exhaustion, during grief, during long nights when sleep refuses to come. It carries oxygen to tired muscles. It supports healing. It waits patiently for rest to return. Over the years, this constant effort adds up. The heart ages, just as the rest of the body does. But aging does not mean weakness. It means experience. It means adaptation. Each year teaches the heart how to do more with less effort, how to maintain balance even as conditions change. There is a quiet strength in this. Even when the body slows, the heart remains dependable. It may change its pace, but it does not abandon its purpose. It continues to support life with the same loyalty it always has. And perhaps the most remarkable thing is this: your heart never asks whether life has been kind. It beats through happiness and hardship alike, through moments of confidence and moments of doubt, through beginnings and endings. It does not measure worth. It does not hold grudges. It simply continues to serve. Even now, as this story flows gently through your awareness, your heart is listening. It notices the calm in your breathing. It senses the slowing of your thoughts. It adjusts accordingly, finding a pace that matches this quieter moment. This is not coincidence. This is cooperation. Your body knows how to calm itself when given the chance. The heart knows how to soften when it feels safe. And when these systems align, rest becomes possible without effort. Tonight, you don't need to fix anything. You don't need to improve yourself. You don't need to understand every detail. Just allow the rhythm inside you to continue steady and faithful as it always has. Because there is still more to this story. And the deeper we go, the more mysterious and beautiful it becomes. Because the deeper you listen to the heart, the more it begins to feel less like an organ and more like a quiet presence. It is always there, marking time in a way clocks never could. Not with numbers or alarms, but with sensation, with rhythm, with continuity. Your heart measures life not by days or years, but by moments of effort and rest, tension and release. And few people realize how sensitive it truly is. Your heart responds to your environment almost instantly. A sudden loud sound can make it jump. A familiar, comforting voice can slow it down. Even gentle music can soften its rhythm, guiding it into a calmer pace without you ever noticing the shift. This is because the heart is deeply influenced by what surrounds you. Soft lighting, quiet spaces, slow movement. These are not just pleasant experiences. They are signals. Signals that tell the heart it is safe to loosen its grip, to release the tension it has been holding. Over time, the heart learns which environments allow it to rest and which ones demand constant alertness. This is why certain places feel exhausting, even when nothing physical is happening, and why others feel soothing the moment you enter them. Your heart recognizes these patterns long before your mind explains them. And this leads to something quietly profound. The heart does not just react to life, it shapes how life feels. When the heart is constantly racing, the world feels urgent. Thoughts speed up. Small problems feel heavy. Rest feels distant. But when the heart finds a steady rhythm, the world feels softer, more manageable, less overwhelming. This shift does not require dramatic change. Sometimes it begins with something as simple as slowing your breath or sitting still for a moment longer than usual, or listening to a calm voice in the quiet of the night. These small acts give the heart permission to return to itself. Few people realize how much the heart values consistency, not perfection, just steadiness. Regular moments of calm tell the heart that it does not need to stay on guard all the time. Over days and weeks, this sense of safety reshapes its rhythm, making calm easier to access even during stressful moments. This is how resilience is built, quietly. Your heart also plays a role in how deeply you connect with others. During moments of closeness, heart rhythms between people can subtly synchronize. Conversations slow, breathing aligns. A shared sense of calm emerges. This is why genuine connection feels grounding. Your heart recognizes it as safety. And even when you are alone, your heart remains a companion. It keeps you company during quiet nights. It stays awake during moments of worry. It continues beating during sleep, dreams, and deep rest. There is something comforting in knowing that no matter how uncertain life feels, this rhythm remains. Even in moments when everything else changes, the heart continues its steady work. It does not demand clarity. It does not wait for answers. It simply moves forward, beat by beat. As time passes, the heart becomes a record of a life lived. It carries evidence of effort, of endurance, of adaptation. Every scar, every adjustment, every strengthened fiber tells a story of persistence. Not dramatic persistence, but quiet, unwavering commitment. And perhaps that is the most powerful lesson it offers. You do not have to rush to be strong. You do not have to force yourself to move faster. Sometimes, continuing gently is enough. Tonight, as your body grows heavier and your breathing becomes slower, your heart will keep its watch. It will adjust to this peaceful moment, finding a rhythm that supports rest rather than urgency. You don't need to stay alert. You don't need to stay awake. Your heart will handle that for you. And as sleep begins to arrive, let this thought settle softly in your mind. There is something within you that has carried you through every moment of your life so far. Something that continues without expectation, without judgment, without rest. You are allowed to pause. Your heart will continue the story. Quietly, faithfully, and when morning comes, it will still be there, ready to carry you forward once again.